Okay, quick game. Close your eyes and picture the biggest cat you can think of. A tiger, right? Half a ton of muscle, strong enough to drag a dead buffalo through a swamp like it's nothing. Now do the same thing, but with a dog. Go on, try it. Picture the biggest wild dog on earth. Most people land on a wolf. Big, sure, but a large wolf tops out around 175 pounds. Even the biggest mastiff ever bred, and that's with humans cheating the system for centuries, barely cracks 340 pounds. That's not even close to a tiger. It's not even close to a lion. So here's the weird part. Cats and dogs come from the exact same evolutionary toolbox. Claws, teeth, instinct, all of it. They split off from one shared ancestor a long, long time ago. And only one side of that family ever went big. Why would evolution build an absolute unit out of the cat side and just leave dogs stuck in the middle forever? For a long time, people just assumed nobody had really looked into it yet. But once scientists actually dug in, they didn't find a gap. They found a wall, a hard limit that dogs keep slamming into generation after generation, no matter how much time evolution throws at the problem. So let's start with the obvious thing. Claws. A cat's claws retract. They stay tucked away, protected, razor sharp, until the exact second it's time to strike. A dog's claws are out all the time. Walking on pavement, running through dirt, they get worn down. They're built more like cleats than knives. And that one tiny difference changes the entire game plan for how each animal hunts. A cat gets one shot. Sprint, pounce, claws in, it's over in seconds. A dog physically can't pull that off. Its claws just aren't sharp enough to pin something 3 times its size. So dogs had to find a completely different strategy. Instead of one perfect strike, they go for the long game, the chase. Wolves, wild dogs, they'll run prey down for miles, sometimes for hours, until the animal simply can't run anymore. And here's the part that should really mess with your head. Being big helps you in a sprint, but being big is basically a curse on a marathon. Every extra pound of muscle costs a wolf's stamina. More weight means overheating faster, burning fuel faster, tiring out faster. Think about human athletes for a second. Elite marathon runners are lean. Elite powerlifters are massive. Same species, 2 totally different builds because the sport demands it. Evolution ran that exact same experiment on dogs and landed on the exact same answer. Bulk doesn't win an endurance race. It loses it. So while cats kept getting rewarded for going bigger, dogs kept getting punished for it. That explains a lot, but it still doesn't explain why nothing ever slipped through the cracks. Why, out of thousands of dog species over tens of millions of years, not a single one became a 500-pound endurance predator, except something actually came close. Really close. About 9 million years ago in North America, there was an animal called Epicyon. It belonged to a now extinct group nicknamed the bone-crushing dogs, and it was enormous. Some of them are estimated at 200 to 300 pounds. Their skulls were so heavy that early scientists actually thought the bones belonged to a bear. This wasn't some modern wolf relative either. It was a true, full-blooded dog. And for a while, it genuinely looked like the exception to the rule. It had the size, it had a bite force strong enough to snap the leg bone of a prehistoric horse clean in half. For a few million years, Epicyon may have been the single most dominant predator on the entire continent. And then it disappeared completely. The whole group it belonged to just vanished. So what actually happened to the one dog that almost broke the rule? The leading theory is brutally simple. Epicyon wasn't beaten in a fight. It was outcompeted for food by cats. As true ambush hunting cats spread across the continent, they were just way more efficient at turning a kill into calories. One clean pounce burns a lot less energy than dragging out a long chase, especially if you're already lugging around 250 pounds of muscle you now have to feed. Epicyon had scaled its body up without ever solving the claw problem. And in a world with limited prey, that inefficiency was basically a slow death sentence. The cats simply ate better, more often, for way less effort. It's kind of poetic, actually. The one time a dog-like animal really rivaled a big cat in size, it collapsed for the exact same reason the two families split apart in the first place. Size without the right tools isn't power. It's just a bigger mouth you now have to feed. Meanwhile, over on the wolf side of the family tree, something way less flashy was happening. They stayed small. They stayed close to each other. And they leaned hard into the one advantage a mid-sized hunter has that a lone giant never will. Numbers. One 100-pound wolf can't take down a full-grown elk. A pack of 8 absolutely can. And none of them have to carry the size, the risk, or the calorie cost of doing it solo. The pack became the size. Teamwork did the job that raw bulk does for a tiger. And once that strategy locked in, there was almost zero pressure left pushing wolves to bulk up at all. Why risk the joints, the metabolism, the sheer fuel demand of a 400-pound body when 6 90-pound bodies working together get the job done with way more margin for error? This, by the way, is also why lions are the weird outlier among cats. Lions are basically the only cat that regularly hunts in a group, and it's not a coincidence that they're also one of the few big cats that doesn't rely purely on stealth to survive. The pride does for lions what the pack does for wolves. Take the group away and give a cat only the tools of a lone ambush hunter, and biology pushes it straight toward what you see in tigers and leopards. Power. Silence. One decisive strike. Take the tools of ambush away and give a dog only endurance, and biology pushes it toward exactly what you see in wolves. Lean bodies, stamina, teamwork. Two completely different answers to the exact same evolutionary question. And once a family commits hard enough to one path, there's basically no walking it back. A wolf built for a 30-mile chase can't suddenly grow retractable tiger claws in a few thousand generations. Okay, but here's the twist that trips almost everyone up. Hyenas. Spotted hyenas hunt in coordinated packs, run prey down over huge distances, and honestly, they look exactly like a lean, muscular dog. If any animal on the planet looks like the missing giant dog, it's a hyena. Except a hyena isn't a dog. at all. Genetically, hyenas are actually closer to cats and mongooses than they are to wolves. They sit on the cat side of the family tree, not the dog side. The one animal that looks the most like a giant pack-hunting dog has been standing on the cat side of the fence this whole time. And just like a tiger can't suddenly evolve pack instincts without giving up what makes it dominant, a wolf can't suddenly grow claws built for a single killing strike. So every giant dog breed you've ever seen, Great Danes, Irish Wolfhounds, English Mastiffs, those exist purely because of us. They're not the product of millions of years of survival pressure. They're the product of a few thousand years of humans deliberately breeding for size. Take away the breeding, drop a Great Dane back into the wild, and it has none of the adaptations that let a wolf run for hours or a tiger kill in seconds. It's a shortcut, built by us, not by the same forces that built every other big predator on this planet. So the real question was never, why don't big dogs exist? One did. It ruled an entire continent for millions of years. And it didn't lose to a stronger rival. It lost to a smaller, sharper animal that simply did the same job better. Meanwhile, the family that never even tried to get big is still out here, still hunting, still running prey down 1 mile at a time, exactly like it has for millions of years. Sometimes the one that survives isn't the biggest. It's the one that actually figured out what it was built for and never stopped doing it.